Hello, my name is Gloria, and this is my very uniquely named final project for VRT 232. And for my final project, the basic synopsis of this is that the game that I was that I typed up for is a fantasy themed exercise type app that's geared towards adults who want to get and stay motivated to get in shape. And since it is a fantasy themed fitness game, players can start with several D&D inspired archetypes, such as I do believe I had bards and clerics in there, and each route of the game will correspond to different exercise types and different things that the player would be able to do and unlock. So the game would be definitely replayable more than once. And so the behaviors I wanted to encourage would be to build a habit, which the game is meant to be played for a minimum of 60 days, which according to Clear in his article, it generally takes about 66 days to, I do believe it was 224 days to build a habit. I'll have to double check on that, but I think that's what it was. And those 66 days have to be played either consecutively or with some days skipped. It's alright if some days get skipped. If several get skipped, I mean, it's not going to help build a habit. It's going to make it a little longer to build it. But generally, 66 days is what we're shooting for here. And I want to encourage exercise with the game. And the game is going to have some gamification techniques that will include things like a compelling narrative and game rewards to kind of give a little bit of a serotonin boost to the brain to think, oh yeah, this is exciting. Exercise is fun, because let's face it, exercise is not a habit we really like to go out and do. It's not generally most people's thought of fun. So some of the key features here would be using the use of accomplishments, and this will allow the user to feel victory and give them that boost of, like I was talking about, serotonin, that mood boost that makes you feel good and great. Collectible badges that can be viewed later and can be seen on display for other players to look in and see, oh wow, this person has walked like so many steps, and that's a big accomplishment for them. And doing that, it will give positive connotations towards exercising, so it'll build kind of like a better, I forgot the word, a better thing towards the brain that will make it easier for the brain to connect that exercise equals fun. And accomplishments will come in a variety of different ways, such as if you walk, say, 25 miles, it'll pop up a little achievement badge that'll say, hey, you've walked 25 miles, congratulations, that's a big achievement for you. And especially for consecutive days, it'll have such accomplishment badges, I guess, for it. Aesthetics is another feature that I would like to keep in the center for the game, because this is something that the player is going to have to go into and look at and have to view for at least a minimum of 66 days. So we want them to have something nice to look forward to, and that includes sound design and good aesthetics, good art design, good animations, something that at the end of the day, or whenever the player or user is going to exercise and work on this, that they can go into it thinking and getting excited about it because, hey, it's really pretty to look at. Another one would be an epic narrative, and that's not to say it's only you can do this type of thing, which that might be a route in the game, but it's not the only way to go about it. The narrative can just give the player a sense of motivation to strive for and want to continue the story and get further and find out what happens, or do side quests and figure out different routes of it. And the way this game would be set up is that for every mile that you walk or run or do, that means your character in-game can walk that distance or move around in that distance, so it'll correspond to how that player will move. And doing different exercises such as running for so much will give the player more stamina, lifting weights will boost up the strength stat, and doing like meditation type things or anything that will basically help calm you down, manage stress levels, that'll be for like magic features. So if the character is more heavily leaning towards magic, that might be a way to easily boost it up by doing meditations. And the more exercise they do, the more they can level up their character and unlock different parts of the stories. So that's one of the motivations to get people into the game and playing the game continuously. Another one was unpredictability, because the same thing is always boring, so it's good to have a good routine and know what's coming next, but throwing in a little spice would be a little more exciting. It keeps players on their toes and wondering what's going to happen next. So there is chance enemy encounters that will pop up throughout playing the game. Like, I like to think about it like it's a Pokemon game where you're just walking through the grass, the tall grass, and really without warning, a character will pop in and challenge the player to a fight or something of that nature. Or even like in the older Final Fantasy games, back when they still used like, where it was like a magic type, a fighter character. I think they were called mages. Oh man, I don't remember that well. But if you would walk through between towns, sometimes enemies would attack you. And that's unpredictable. It adds a little bit of interesting to the game. Another one is social influence. And technically the game is meant to be played alone, but it can be played with others. And the way this would work is that another player can join into the team, and there will be like a shared XP point system where if one player is lagging, the rest of the group will earn less XP, and that gives the player more accountability, and other people will be there giving kind of some peer pressure of, hey, you gotta get on the game, come on and level up with us. So that brings into like an accountability on it. So in conclusion for this, what the game is attempting to modify, it's just to create an exercising habit or something of that nature to get people motivated into exercising and getting active. And the hopeful outcome would be that at least 50% of the users would finish the 66-day program and create that lasting habit. Of course, it's understandable if most don't. There's always going to be a rate of failure in basically anything. Maybe the user doesn't like the game, maybe the user doesn't like something or other, or drops out. And my citation for the earlier statistic. Thank you for watching.